I have some unfinished wood here. The first board measures 16 by 8 inches, and I get these pine boards from Lowe's and I just cut them myself, or you can also have Lowe's cut them for you. Then I have two smaller pieces. I get these from Hobby Lobby. They are 11.5 by 2.5 inches. And I'm going to make a peak at the top with the two smaller pieces of wood. And I just like to mark off with a Sharpie where I want to make a cut in my wood. Now, once I made a cut to that piece of wood, I'm then going to place it on my board and mark the right and left top corners and make a cut there as well. Now, we make our cuts using a Milwaukee miter saw. If you are unable to cut your own material or go to Lowe's to have them cut it, then you can just recreate this with other material. And I gave my large piece of board 2 coats of Wise Owl Snow Owl, and then I also painted the 2 smaller pieces using some Wise Owl chocolate. And you can pick any colors of your choice that match your home decor. I got this wire basket from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use my bolt cutters to cut the back side of the basket. I'm just going along the last row. If you look down into the basket, it's almost like a grid on the bottom. And I'm just going to cut off the back side so that it's flat on the back rather than rounded. I'm going to take my Krylon Shortcut spray paint in black, and I'm going to give this a coat of spray paint outside, and I'm going to allow that to dry. I'm going to go back to the wood that we painted now that it's dry, and I'm going to take my Elmer's wood glue, and I'm going to glue all the pieces in place. And I love this wood glue. It holds very well. And once I had it positioned to where I like to take my little small DeWalt clamps and just clamp it down in place while the wood glue dries. And then on the other side, I'm going to use my other clamps to hold the other side in place. And then I just allowed that to fully dry. Once everything was dry, I took some Wise Owl goldenrod and just dry brushed on top of the chocolate. I have these laser cut wood letters. They're the typewriter font. I get them from Hobby Lobby, and they come with quite a bit of letters. I'm going to take my straight edge here, and I know this wood is straight, so I'm just going to clamp the straight edge in place, and I'm going to put my first word on top of the straight edge, and that's going to be coffee. And I like the color of these letters already, so I'm not going to paint them. I'm just going to leave it the unfinished wood. I'm going to take my Elmer's wood glue and a small art brush and just dab some glue on the back side of each letter, and then just place it back down onto the board. And then once I had coffee in place, I then moved my straight edge down a little bit. I reclamped it in place, and then the second word we're going to place underneath that is house. And again, I like to just use the Elmer's wood glue to hold it in place. And you just need a small amount just so it doesn't seep under the letter and onto your project. I went back to my basket now that the spray paint was dry, and I'm going to place it on the bottom of my board, and I'm just marking where the basket lands, and I'm taking these screw-eye hooks, and I'm going to put 2 in the top marks, and then I'm just going to put 2 on the bottom. I decided not to do any in the center. And I'm just screwing the screw-eye into the board. You can pre-drill a little bit to help you get it started. And then I'm just closing the eye part so that it wraps around the wire basket and holds it in place. Another way to work with these screw eye hooks is you just put it at the tip of your drill, and then you can drill it in just a little bit, and then I just finish it off by twisting the remainder in. And before I screwed it into the board, I made sure I opened up that little hook, and then I'm just closing it with a pair of small pliers, and I'm just wrapping it around the wire basket. So now the basket is adhered to the board and it's nice and sturdy. I'm using just a small piece of sandpaper because I did scratch it up a little bit when I was putting the screw eye hooks in. And there we go. Now we have this coffee house decor that you can store your coffee pods in or any of your coffee supplies. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Paint products, tissue paper transfers, and mesh stencils can all be found on our webpage at chalkitupfancy.com. And don't forget, you can also check out other tutorials on our webpage as well. Have a great day.